Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael, and today I'm coming to you guys with the park spotlight. And I've been super excited to spotlight this park. This is called Planco Frontierland, and it's created by NH99 underscore SVW. And I'm not going to read the full description because it's very lengthy, but I'm just going to kind of break it down and abbreviate it. But essentially, this is the fifth park that has been created by this amazing creator. And this is definitely his most ambitious park yet. So as you can kind of see, just this is based obviously around, um, I think the Disneyland Paris version of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Frontierland. And so we'll make sure to check the park out at night. But one thing I want to make sure and let you guys know is the coaster has a tendency to crash sometimes. And so it's best if you like if your computer if your system's crashing because of it, you can try to have all the guests leave the park and stuff, and that's one way to help it. For me, I was able because I filmed ahead of time on the coaster just to make sure we didn't have that issue, and it actually made it through the entire run, but then it crashed when I was trying to do a second recording. But man, this is just beautiful, and this is just an amazing park. And so we're going to walk around in flip cam mode because that's what NH recommends. But as you can just kind of see an overview, there's two other kind of attractions in the park. One of them is this riverboat you can see that the guests can't access, and then the other one is, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a flat ride that is just extremely well themed. And so let's go to the entrance, and there'll be some things that I will definitely kind of break down afterwards after in flip cam mode, like kind of click on and see how it was created. But the only neg about flip cam mode is that it once you've kind of gotten into that mode, if you get out of it, it takes you back to where you started. So first off, here's the main entrance, and one thing I want to check is now that I'm looking at this in person. Okay, so that's a double barn door. So that's maybe on another video I was watching somebody doing this. It looked a little bit wider than the actual door, but that's kind of set up that way. So that's really cool, kind of having that big, massive entryway into the park. So let's click on a guest. Let's pause it for a second and go into flip cam mode. All right, so now we are in flip cam mode, and we're just going to walk around the park and see what the guests see, because that really is it's a real immersion factor, because when you're creating in this game, the whole point of creating a theme park is for guests, right? And so sometimes the elevated view doesn't actually give you the full view of what the guests would see. But right away, this kind of reminds me of almost like an old time like fort, right? Like I know there's a couple places here in America where you can go to like some old Civil War type forts and battlegrounds, and they kind of have this kind of style to it, which is just super cool. And I love these menu signs, how you do the menus. I need to do stuff like that in my park, but that's really kind of a cool concept and idea. And one thing he said too is everything in here, the interior is decorated. So make sure and check that out. So you see a playground to the left, riverboat landing, guest services, trading post, Big Thunder Mountain stuff. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to the right. We're going to go in the ladies' room, which is not what we should be doing, but we're going to go in here anyway. So as you can see, because it's fully decorated, and I love the ceiling there. I mean, just really, really looks good. You know, his patent. I mean, he should have a patent on some of the stuff he does, which is just crazy. All this interior. So I mean, that's those hand dryers that he has in all of his parks. And then he updates the sink areas to kind of fit the style of the park. I mean, that's just really cool, really well done. And then obviously using the doors to cover up where the bathroom stalls are. Good job. And so what's in here? Oh, it's staff room. Okay. That's one thing I hope with the Planet Coaster 2 that they do compared to like Planet Zoo is the staff rooms in Planet Zoo are awesome because you can kind of see inside and they're detailed and decorated. And my goodness, I mean, you walk out of the bathroom here and you just kind of see this beautiful kind of western walkway, western town. And I like this fountain, looks really cool. And oh, you got an entertainer here. Looks like with some cap guns. I remember those, playing with those when we were younger. Those were fun. So now in the men's room, same thing, except now we have urinals. That's really cool. Man, this is just his detail is just second to none. Um, this is just crazy, and I love even all the detail on this wooden fencing. Like, who thinks to do that? You know, just really well done. And so let's actually go look around here first, and we'll come back this way. So I know I don't want to miss anything. So we come out to the left. And I love the kind of, even though you've got the roof on, you still put the bamboo right there. And I just think that adds just that extra touch to it. And you've got what looks like these walkways up here. I don't know if that's actually accessible for like staff. Like, obviously not in the game, but if this was real life, like, what would be up there for staff? Would there be anything? Man, really, this is just beautiful. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. um, I'll try to find some things where I can give hints and stuff like that. But I mean, this makes my parks look like nothing. So right away we see the Cosmic Cow sign, and I think I remember you saying something in the PlayStation group about, or maybe somebody else was saying about how it's hard to theme like this purple to like this Western style. But I think you did a good job of merging it. And then you've got the covered little awning and seating area right here, just fantastic. Oh, that ice cream looks good. Makes me want to have ice cream now. And you got this little well. I mean, just all the thought that you put into every area. And I believe this took you about 2 to 3 months to work on, and that's including a little break in between. So this is just impeccable. And we'll definitely look at an aerial view at the end so we can kind of see what stuff looks from above, because that's where you kind of see too how he went about kind of creating this stuff. So guest services. Man, and so this is cool though. For brochures, you use the fireworks. That's really cool. So we got a little seating area. And one of my cats is going crazy right now. It's always when I'm filming. Then the other one's just sitting around watching the other one. Yeah, so it looks like in this door, yeah. So it's just like in theory would be a staff door. So we got park maps, information, fast passes. I wish we could upload our own photos in here because I just know NH would have he'd have a screen that would have an aerial view or an aerial map of his park, which that's one thing I'm like, I don't know why we can't import our own images. It doesn't seem to me like that would be that difficult. But who knows, maybe in Planet Coaster 2. So Trading Post, this is a really nice building. And I like too how you've taken the different styles of wood. So you've merged two different styles here. You got that wood batten and then the whatever this horizontal wood is, which that one's not my favorite, but I think you did a good job merging the two. And then you've got the, I don't want to click on it because I don't want to get flip cam mode, whatever that is on the side that's used to kind of give some detail. But then here we did the painted wood, and you just did a good job of merging it once again. So it looks like this is a store. We got posters here on the outside. Ali, what'd you do for oh, that's just TV screens. Oh, clever, clever. So we got shirts. Those are some really small shirts, though, if I'm being honest. um, but yeah, this is, I mean, just the detail, second to none, and this is really cool. And so, I don't necessarily like saying like, oh, on console or on PC. But I mean, PC has had 5 years of this game before we have. But like, to me, NH, like, you're the silverette of console, and like, there's no question about it. And I know you said you've looked at his stuff for motivation, but I mean, just the detail you use is like, it's just unbelievable, and it's insane. And then I love this little detailed section here in the middle that serves zero purpose, but yet it just adds so much to the area. I forget what those are called, but looks really cool. And so if we go back this way, you got some stairs. Well, let me go up the stairs. Oh, it will. Okay. And now let's look back here. As you know, I love my backstage areas. And so this is good. And that's one thing too is I noticed you did on your Asia Park. Um, you did a little bit more on Top Gun too, but you seem to be kind of with each park doing a little bit more with your backstage work, which is really cool to see. And you've got the guest parking lot out here, and you've got kind of the entrances to all these buildings. And the only one thing that I would love to see you build, just because I know the detail on it would be crazy and would help give me kind of more ideas and stuff, but I'd love to see you build like a maintenance warehouse just to see how you approach it, what you use for the pieces. Because that's the kind of stuff that I really like building too. And I just know if you did something like that, it would be second to none. But this is yeah really cool, really spaced out. Is this where so that's yeah? So I'm just trying to figure out where, in theory, where would the guest come in, or not the guest? Where would the employees enter from? Is there a which I do love how you did this elevated way right here. Yeah. And that's the only thing from another realism perspective. Maybe just have like a little gate somewhere with a little road kind of showing where the employees technically drive in from. But I like how you've got these little benches out here to where they can be on break, eating lunch and stuff like that. Really, really cool. Oh, did you put a little rope in that door, or is that how it comes? Looks like there's a little rope. Oh no, maybe that's just somehow one of the pieces is glitching or something. Okay. I was about to say that's extreme detail. So now we go over here and we've got the riverboat landing, and so it shows departure times. And so this would just, in theory, kind of go around the track. But I love how you even made this custom queue out of these wooden posts and these ropes. I mean, just like guests can't even go in here, but yet you took the time to build out this queue, and it really looks like. I mean, it looks great. I mean, honestly, it looks like American. It looks like it would fit in something here in like a Disney park in America too, you know, with the red, white, and blue stuff, and like it's just so awesome. So are we allowed to walk on here? I think no. Oh yeah, we can. Hopefully my camera doesn't get stuck at any point. But yeah, only thing I might say is to put a railing up here in theory, because if you wanted it to seem like people could go on this boat, um, you know, they would technically could just fall off in the water. Well, now I'm really interested. What? Oh, okay, no, it won't let me. I was wondering if Flipcam would let me jump in the water there. This is really cool. Uh oh, we're stuck. Oh no, we're not. Okay, good. Whew. I didn't want to pull a Maddie right there and have to exit out and. um, no, this is really cool. Wow. And so I know I missed a couple things over here. This gallery. Those are massive, massive handguns. Holy smokes. I'll have to come back and see. Is that all part of the actual game, or did you actually make those guns? Because I've never used this shooting game in the game, so because those are some massive guns. Nice little spot for the ATM, and I love these little planters on the side too. I mean, it just adds that detail where you get this awkward space in between a building, and it's like, well, what do I do with that space? Fill it up with flowers. You know, the menu there on the side is really cool touch. I like using the awning as well. And then you got this amazing playground. This is wow, and I like how you use the kind of black pieces there to kind of make it look like there's actually a slide that people can go in. And this looks awesome. And in the collab I'm doing, Corey from Web Gaming made a really cool playground for our park. And so this is really cool to see other creators kind of doing that. It's something I should give a try sometime. You know, kind of it's a good way to kind of take up space and definitely have that in the kids section of the park. But as you can see, just beautiful views of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and just the trees, all the pieces used, just phenomenal. All right, so it's like a little fountain. That's really cool. And I just like all the detail and everything too. I mean, you've got everything is thought out in this park. You've got all these elevation changes, and I feel like the terrain, at least in my opinion, is one of the toughest things to work with. This is really cool. So I wonder, did you actually raise the terrain here, or did you just raise the path and you kind of use those pieces to kind of hide the ugliness of having the curb? Like that's one thing that they've got to get rid of is why in the world do you have to have a curb on the elevated path? It's one of the things that really irritates me. But yeah, this is really I love this churros. I mean, there's nothing quite like getting a churro in at Disney. It's the only time I get them, really. So fantastic donut shop, and then you got the stairs here. Yeah, I feel like these stairs are those have got to be custom, or like there's a path underneath, but you created the custom stairs. Yeah, you created the custom stairs. Okay, so it's a flat path. Custom stairs were just created though, so that's still really cool. Yeah, and for those people who don't know, I'm sure most of you know. I didn't know for a while. If you want to get these perfectly in the center, there's a section where you can, like angle snap on or align to surface, um, and then there's one where it can say snap to point. I forget exactly what it is, but if you click on that, those will actually snap to the center of the object or the center of the table. So that's a pretty cool trick to be able to put those directly in the center. I just wish we could advance move the tables like you can other stuff. But yeah, I mean, really cool sign for the playground. So now we covered this area of the park, and I'm trying to not make this video too terribly long, but I want to make sure that we fully cover everything in detail. Really good sign, and it's not just pointing left and right, like it's really pointing all sorts of directions. Eagle's Flight, Lucky Horseshoe. So what we need to do is go back through this way, because I know, like, actually, you know what? Let's do this. So there was that fence before. So this is the Lucky Horseshoe, and it's a saloon. So if we come in here, and this is one thing I definitely am gonna take from UNH, and I've seen Corey do it as well, is using that screen, that wall mount piece, kind of make it to look like a computer screen. Really well done. So we come in, and this is like, what in the world? Just amazing. And of course, I love these guys. They're just fantastic. So, I mean, you've got a stage. How they dress kind of reminds me of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello for some reason. Um, just got all the food in here, drinks. You got a sign. I mean, you even have a sign to restrooms right there. Just what in the world? And I know most of this the guests can't access, um, just because it's of the limitations in this game. But you've even got an upstairs area, and so we'll have to go see what that looks like once we get out of flip cam mode. But you've even got a balcony. I remember you sending pictures of when you were working on this, and just, my goodness, like, just, I can't even imagine just the, like, how do you think of, I'm slipping over my words now, but it's just like, I don't even know where you get the vision to come up with stuff like this, like to do that on the wall and stuff. Just phenomenal. There are no other words to say. So now you come this way, and you got a little walkway here into another food area, and just, I mean, look at the detail here. Just really cool. Wish there wasn't that clipping, but not really much you can do about that. And I love this too. Use trays. So you've even got an area to where guests put their trays, in theory, once they get done eating. You got a little staff door there. I mean, this is realism right here. I love looking at realism. To me, realism's more important than making sure stuff fits within the game. That's just me personally. Hey, look at this. So it looks like the Washington Monument with an American flag on top. The Founding Fathers. We've got all of us here. You got Sonomatic 14, Tommy CM. There's me at the top, Mustang Glenn. So these are all people who are part of the PlayStation group. Ted07386, which you guys probably know is Coaster Creations, who is the best coaster builder on console. Tommy Lee's 23, or Tommy P. I mean, this is just fantastic. Cincinnati is the one that's done a couple of just amazing parks with his diver park and Funland, and then Jurg, I think is how you pronounce it, is working on another park right now. He's the one that did the Victory Park. I'm forgetting the whole name now. Deep PHS has done some really good ones. There's still one of his from a couple months ago that I want to spotlight. I know Commander 86, and there's a couple on here. Yeah, I mean, this is just really cool. A lot of people do kind of like individual rides too. Like Cakeist does really good work, Rive as well. So it's just really cool to kind of see everybody is giving nods to all of us on here, which is really cool. And Silver Punker did the Harry Potter World Park on the PS5. So really appreciate NH. I mean, this area is beautiful as well. You got a sit-in area, you got the trees, and then you come out here and you can just watch kind of the coaster go. And I mean, look at that, custom supported right there too. You can already tell just the detail that's gonna be put in on this coaster is phenomenal. Good job with the viewing point, so guests can kind of stand there and look out. So barbecue ribs. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I go to theme parks, though, I'm still just about like burger and fries. Nothing too crazy. So I know this part's pretty cool too. This little pizzeria. You got a walkway up here. Actually, I don't know if we can go inside this one. Might be thinking something different. Nope. Can't. Oh, oh. No, I'm stuck. No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! Dang you, Plipcam mode. Alright, well, before we get out of Plipcam mode and come back into it, look at this view right here. I mean, this is, I could sit up here all day and just kind of look around at how this park looks. And look at that star on there for the directions. I mean, that alone probably took hours. Wow, just so detailed. Alright, so we're going to have to get back in Plipcam mode. So let me get us back in Plipcam mode real quick. Alright, so let's get back to where we're at. So here we have restrooms. I mean, just once again, the detail is just amazing. And then different doors this time. Love the fountain there. And then this is what I was looking for. This walkway. I mean, like, yeah, this is where I was trying to get earlier when it kicked me out. That pizzeria. I mean, just, once again, the detail. You got all these buildings connected. You got brochures still. And then we've got this eating area in here. Like a bar and stuff. And like, what in the world? Just the design in this is crazy. Yeah, so, I mean, this is amazing. You know, I mean, I understand, like, why the counter is where it's at. Because it's wanting to make sure that our systems can still handle all this stuff. And, you know, Insomniac said something I do think is good. Like, when there's a limit, like, it sets it to where it's not endless, to where you actually can see an endpoint. But it would be really cool to see an entire park made by NH that wasn't just a couple rides, just because he is so detailed. It's like, I mean, yes, this is a massive park and stuff, but there's also like one coaster, one flat ride, so it'd just be unreal to see a park made by him that was, you know, had the normal amount of rides. Because this is, I mean, the detail's just crazy. So as you can see, this queue that we're going on to get on this flat ride is so detailed. Oh, that's cool. So the chain link fence looks like, with the wood around it, makes it kind of hide the top portion of the chain link. Oh, that's really cool. And he colored it kind of brown. Wow. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how many people are in this park for just 2 rides. Oh, and the queue keeps going on. What? I mean, this little waterfall here, this rock, you've got even everything's thought out. You've got the water going to that water tower. Just insane, dude. Insane. I I mean, just this is unbelievable. And then this is the flat ride. So we're not actually going to ride this, but as you can see the coloring, you see the view of it. Just one of the coolest flat rides that I've seen in terms of theme. And it looks like you probably added. Actually, did you add those stairs? I don't know. Actually, those look like those were probably part of the ride. And then the custom fencing around, and you place down the cement as well. Just perfection. So now the big time attraction, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And look at that sign. Wow. I mean, it really is spectacular. And so let's kind of walk around this area in flip cam mode and see if there's anything else to explore. So it says closed. So it looks like we got a staff only portion back here, which probably takes us back to the second little. Yep, so you got another little area like before. Oh, you even got the stairs here? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Oh man, it really, really cool, really well done. And then, yeah, it looks like we just got a road that eventually could be the opening of another area of the park. Now, I like how you have this train out here for kind of just to kind of model, kind of get you ready for the coaster. We've got another food shop over here, Outpost Coffee, and even like all of your restaurants are named. And look at this how that sign's made, and it just makes it look like there's wording and stuff, and it's just art pieces put in horizontally where they're barely sticking out. But that's still really cool detail. And then we come over here, and I'm guessing this is more of this is more for staff. And so you got that area's closed, and this area up here is the transfer track. And that's kind of a cool way to make a garage door using the hazard strips where it saves some pieces on the piece count. And so, yep. So we got the transfer track building. And now one thing oh gosh. No. All right. We're going to get out of flip cam mode for right now while we get towards the ride. But one thing I did notice, and I did ask him about this, if you look at the transfer track there, and you've got it here, and it goes all the way here, and I just asked him about how, from a realism standpoint, the coaster wouldn't be able to get back here, right? You need drive tires. But the issue with this coaster that I didn't realize is if you put on drive tires, it changes the track of the coaster. And so I wanted to keep this feel because this is how it looks at Disneyland Paris, I believe. And so totally understand that. It makes a lot of sense. And just that shows you even more example of where the thought comes into play, because that's something that I didn't even think about, is how the coaster track changes with this type of coaster. So let's go ahead and walk up the queue, and then we will ride the ride. So it looks like this is the entrance. Oh, that's the fast pass. Oh, the coaster looks closed down, but oh well, I've already taken the POV of it unrecorded, so I'll just edit that in just because I wanted to make sure that is it closed? I don't know where they're walking. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to ride the ride and it didn't just cut out at the end, because I did do that before and it doesn't save your file. So like if you record for 40 minutes and then the car crashes, it doesn't save any of those 40 minutes. Look at that. Beautiful. And just long queue. I would love to know what % of the counter these queue paths took up, because I try to make my queues shorter just because those are an absolute drain on the counter, because paths hurt the counter more than anything, even more than coasters. And especially when you have to do 3 meter or sometimes even 2 meter paths, like this might be the 2 meter paths, it drains it. Like if you want to save space using paths, use 10 meter paths. Also use it on a grid, because you can do about 3 times more paths on a grid than if they're not on a grid. So it just has something to do with the coding. Yeah, I mean, look at this though. This is insane. This queue is just, and all the detail here. You've got stuff to look at. You don't feel boxed in, but you've got the windows. You can look and see the coaster on the mountain. Just I mean, wow. And then you come back out. Oh, or not. Come this way. And then you go down. And here is the station. Wow. And you even got the shelves over here. Really cool. You got your employees standing up on the side. You got an exit sign. So let's look at the stats. Yeah, I mean, with these, you're never going to have all green across the board because they're not meant to be. They're more geared towards kids, right? So if you look at, this is a Canyon Runner coaster. So good track length. Max speed 53, which is good. Biggest drop 12 meters. G-forces look great. You know, 2 airtime hills, no inversions, obviously. So let's go ahead and ride the coaster. All right, so that was Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. What was y'all's thoughts? And how spectacular of a coaster is that? You know, let's be real. Sometimes it's hard to get those mine train coasters to look great and be fantastic, and that was just phenomenal. I mean, you got the 3 lift hills, and just look at even all the little detail out here. Just, I mean, just unreal. And so I tried to record this segment a second ago, but when I was trying to look around the coaster, it actually crashed on me. So there are a couple areas that we're going to try to look at, but most of it, I'll try to not turn on the lights and stuff, because I think it was just due to all the triggers and stuff. But that is just, I mean, you got this little tunnel here at the end. You've even got the stairs. And let's look at an aerial view of the park. And so you can see how this is laid out. It's a cool layout. You got you got it kind of making a half circle around the lake, and you got your different destination areas. And just how amazing does this look right here? Having that compass right there in the middle. The only thing I wonder about is this different color cement right there. It looks a little bit like, I understand doing it in these areas. That part just looks a little bit different being in that, just that part of it. But it is really cool how you chose, like over here, you've got the cement outlining this circular area, which that is like silverette right there. Like that is incredible. Um, and here, so it's really cool how you did choose. You're using the different concrete pieces. So it looks like that's concrete. This is just normal path. Um, but just really cool how you pick and chose when to do that. And you can see the aerial view of this flat ride, just phenomenal. And that queue that you go through is crazy cool. Oh, I didn't even notice before. You got like this log here, and it's like it's chopping the log. That's awesome. Just awesome. And so, yeah, as we can kind of see the elevated view, just a beautiful park. And I love this viewpoint here. So let's look at the park at nighttime. Let's see, I was forgetting how to click on that for a second. There we go. So let's look at nighttime. And yeah, I mean, I expected nothing less. This is lit up really well. It's not too much. It's also not underdone in terms of the lighting. And then you look at, I mean, just look at that mountain. That's astounding. And you can see the train going up the lift hill. And I like too how you had a slow lift hill, and it was like the coaster basically hangs over the top for a little bit, because that's how these mine trains truly are. Like most, at least in my experience, I could be totally wrong, but most coaster lift hills are not as fast as people make them here in the game. That's why I tend to have mine slower at like the 2 meters or 2 miles, whatever that is, compared to the 6, unless I have to for the coaster to get through the track or something, or for like the block section component of it. Just because if you think about coasters in real life, most of them go really slow up the lift hill. But look at that mountain and how it's lit up, and then you've got most of it's the same color lighting as right here, but then you've got a little area here which is like more of the white light. You got kind of the yellow light over here, and this is, I didn't even notice this like little town almost. Just the detail used is just amazing. And so let's go back to daytime. So you can see the custom supports here. That's really well done, really cool. Just using the wooden pieces. And you've got all this area too for, like, if anything ever valleyed or got stuck, you've got areas for your guests to get off at, for maintenance areas, to maintenance workers to come around. And I'm trying to not go too much in the mountain, because when I went in the mountain last time, that's when it crashed. But there is something really cool I wanted to show, because you got the lift hill, stay out. If you go through here, I mean, NH has created these emergency exits. Just like, what? Like, here's the coaster track. I mean, what in the world? You've literally thought of everything. Um, and you know, I really love doing realism, and that's one of the parts that I feel like I continue to get better in the game. But I mean, this is like realism on a whole nother level. And then that's a custom fencing right there too. I mean, just I'm just continuously at a loss for words with how phenomenal this park is. And so it's yeah, let's hopefully this doesn't crash as we go through this area, so we can kind of see the coaster double down. You got your pathway, and I love the lights chosen there, those kind of fairy lights. And then you come up here, and I believe this is the end. Yep. Wow. Not much left to say. Just love your guys' thoughts and opinions. If anybody, you know, what'd you guys think of this park? And if you have seen his other parks, and I will put a link to the park tours that Jasmine and I have done of his other parks. We have done 3 of the 4 parks that he's created. I think I forget the name of it. The Alpine one was the only one that we haven't done an official review on. But yeah, where does this one stack up for you guys? And you can be sure to go watch those videos too, or check out and download all this content that he's created on the Frontier Workshop. And he has posted a lot of little things like that he's used in his parks that you guys can download and use in your own, in terms of the menu signs and different stuff like that. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.